Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so what does my collective need to know today? What does my collective need to know? With some sort of unity, okay? Some sort of unity. Learning to love. Again, something to do with 4 of Pentacles in reverse, right? And we've got Ace of Cups. So somebody could be wanting to keep hold of someone or something you have unconditional love for. And we've got a Queen of Pentacles in reverse, a Virgo, Taurus type of energy. Okay, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, 3 of Swords, and then we have 2 of Pentacles and a King of Cups in reverse. So this is an emotional abuser, alright, who wants to make out like masculine or feminine, is mentally unstable because they have unconditional love, alright. So this King of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, this, we've got battling, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, feminine or masculine, who doesn't actually have a job, alright. Maybe this King of Cups hasn't actually got a job either, has hold of something, wanted some sort of transference, was battling and competing because they was lacking, alright. They've been studying and sneak attacking. Could be something to do with some sort of justice, alright. They've been sneaking around. They want to be seen as all powerful, and they are linking to a corrupt government organisation. This could be a church, this could be corrupt judge, or two. The Magician card in reverse. Then we've got the 9 of Wands, because they don't want somebody to defend and protect them, because they are battling and competing for an Archangel's destiny, okay? For their stardom, or the 2s there. So they're battling and competing against an Archangel, a starseed, for their own destiny, alright? We've got Hanged Man in reverse, who is trying to sacrifice, trying to maybe shut masculine or feminine off from their intuition, alright? Waving their wand around. We've got a Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, 2 of Wands. Heavy on the Capricorn energy. Someone who's very chained to the mundane, materialistic, very 3D, okay? Money, power, hungry. They've been doing death spells, okay? To try and weaken an Archangel and death hexes, which was a bad investment. Persistent death hexes, several different death hexes at the same time, okay? Several different death hexes. They're doing something online, alright? They're trying to create illusions surrounding an Archangel's work and destiny, a real starseed, a healer. You could be trying to take Empire, sacrifice an Empress, 9 of Cups in reverse, some sort of nightmare, performing some sort of rituals, maybe cloaking themselves, okay? Cloaking themselves, performing rituals, trying to cloak themselves in somebody else's energy, okay? Trying to block some sort of intuition, trying to block some sort of unity, constant attacks and Aries, hexing to take with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, the fruits of somebody else's labour, alright? This could be like several different inheritances, and waving their wands around, okay, with a Capricorn, a Libra, and a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, because they want to be seen as in control. Look, motorcycle, they want to be seen as in control. They've gained control and put an end into some sort of separation, tried to block some sort of separation through lying and doing a lot of death hexes, because they've took some sort of generational wealth. The Sun card in reverse, they don't want that to be revealed, alright? All the 4s, we have Sagittarius, Aries type of energy, and a Leo, Five of Swords in reverse, there was enemies, okay, there was rallying the troops, okay, there was bringing a lot of conflict. It was a conflict of interest for them, because it's a hell of a lot of money, okay. It's several lots of Seven of Pentacles, and God knows how many lots of this Ten of Pentacles, but they was all splitting amongst themselves, and they don't want that to be brought to light, okay. Six of Cups, someone from family, someone from past, someone from childhood, on the attack. Knight of Swords wants to be seen as all powerful, proper going for it, and Aries, proper going for it, hexing, because they had some sort of, they wanted some sort of inheritance, they wanted to inherit some of this wealth for themselves, yeah, they really did, and there was lying to get it, so, wow. So the real powerful one is the one who's speaking the truth. Four of Wands. Capricorn energy. Working with a Capricorn, who masculine or feminine, could have lived with at some point, who's going to lose everything. We've got Death in reverse, Two of Swords in reverse. It's all being reversed. These death hexes, alright, they just wanted this, an archangel, a star, yeah, and the cloak's been dropped. A star seed, alright, Three of Cups, friends performing rituals, okay, because they wanted somebody else's empire, so there was battling and competing to take somebody else's empire. Nine of Wands playing a lot of games. Seven of Wands in reverse, I'm getting a lot of them are very soulless. Very soulless. Okay. I'm trying to put death hexes on prosperity also. Death hex on prosperity. Okay. Wanted to make masculine or feminine passionless, unable to sleep. Passionless, unable to sleep, alright. And these karmics have always been waving their wands around since masculine or feminine was a child, because they was always jealous of masculine or feminine's destiny, and always tried to, with the Hermit in reverse, tried to cloak themselves in energy and send the spirit of stagnation. So a lot of cloaking, energy harvesting, and then sending the spirit of stagnation to try and stagnate an archangel, okay, linking to family. But the cloak's been dropped. The cloak has been dropped, okay? See through these illusions with this backstabbing Aries. Backstabbing Aries, who was stalking, thought that they could avoid judgment, okay? They really thought that they could avoid judgment, okay? Maybe malicious gossip and wanted to keep it a secret. An Aries who's a shit mother, who doesn't even have control over their own life, Three of Cups in reverse, and starts a lot of malicious gossip. So we've got a shit mother, alright, and then we've got another Empress who's like a dark high priestess who does nothing but pulling on other people's energy, okay? Pulling on other people's energy because they want the fruits of their labour. They do sex magic, death magic, love block spells, crown chakra blockages, Six of Cups in reverse. They're very childish. Always on beauty magic and love magic and sex magic and death magic and love block spells and trying to block some sort of rebirth, also trying to block a rebirth, a lot of chaos magic and a lot of crown chakra attacks. Six of Cups reverse, very, very childish, maybe trying to block some sort of forward movement. And with the Five of Pentacles and Judgment in reverse, they was doing poverty spells and spying through divination, alright, because they was really trying to have masculine or feminine let their guard down, let me back in, we love you, we care about you, and trying to drag them back on that energy. Let your guard down, let me in, I really care about you, I love you. And then do another death hex, okay? Do everything they can to make masculine or feminine angry, bringing chaos and trauma and a lot of underhanded behaviour. They was getting paid. They was getting paid. Shit mothers. Shit mothers. They was getting paid. Yeah, they was committed. They're not innocent, but they have been doing this to masculine or feminine since they was a child, and be doing this to masculine or feminine's child or children if they have a hold of that and spying on them because they know they took the child or children's generational wealth too, and they've been doing a lot of destinies on child or children and death hexes on child or children. We've got a shit father figure, Ten of Swords in reverse, who wants to wipe themselves out now because these illusions, they've been broken. Everyone is seeing through this, and maybe it could be hitting the news, and they're going to get pushed back into some sort of poverty. Alright, there's been God knows how many years of stalking. A bad business deal. Dizzy spells, maybe, quite possibly. A Capricorn, Vega or Taurus, okay? They've been doing SEX magic on child or children, okay? Yeah, and romance magic and binding spells on child or children, okay? So this is like a pedo, alright? Yeah, nothing but bad messages, nothing but bad messages, and wanted to use child or children to gain power and control over this masculine or feminine's empire, the generational wealth, and actually tricked child or children and wanted to pull child or children back and get child or children to start malicious gossip, so then they could take hold of the child or children's generational wealth. It's karmic family, Nine of Pentacles in reverse. They wanted to trot around acting all successful and rich off the back of stealing from this masculine or feminine and their child or children. Shit father figure again. They wants to wipe themselves out, hexing and curses, going back. Another shit father figure who is very corrupt and a lot of injustice. A lot of romance spells, a lot of binding spells, okay? And they've also done some sort of prison spells. Prison spells, a lot of injustice, prison spells, okay? They're probably going to get found guilty for all investing in a lot of major criminal activity, and that it's going to hit the news what they've been doing, alright? And they're going to get pushed back into some sort of poverty because they tried to gain power and control over someone else's success. An overwhelming amount of spell work, okay? An overwhelming amount of binding spells, and they wanted to keep it a secret. They was doing moon rituals, working with water deities, okay? And offering up child or children, maybe mother and father, without thinking that they have some sort of judgment. About offering a child or children up to deities so they can gain power and control. Then we've got a Queen of Swords in reverse and a Hermit in reverse. They was romanticising and fantasising. A Libra, Gemini, Aquarius was romanticising and fantasising about cloaking themselves in this person's energy. So there's a lot of people who's been using a real star, a healer, a powerful earth angel energy for protection, and then lying and trotting around like they're all successful and actually getting off on it, alright? We've got King of Pentacles in reverse. Could be some sort of warlock, alright, who really gets off on it. Really gets off on it. Let me tell you that. This King of Pentacles in reverse, who thinks it's really good to try and take recognition for something what was not actually theirs, just because they want the riches, what comes with it, and they've really been getting off on it, doing all these dark, sinister, evil things. They've really been getting off on it. Oh my lord, they've really been getting off on it. They didn't know that they was all getting recorded, alright? They didn't know that it was all getting seen, sneaking around and trying to study how to battle and compete against an earth angel, so they would lack the energy, so they would lack the strength to fight back, alright? By doing a lot of black magic and using corrupt government organisations, okay, who was all trying to take some sort of spiritual gifts. And we've got Hangman, tried to sacrifice for some sort of spiritual gifts, a power transference, and tried to sacrifice for some spiritual gifts. Ten of Cups in reverse. It's a very dysfunctional family. It's a very dysfunctional government, alright? It's a very dysfunctional judge or something like that. Judge or judges, alright, who, with lovers and Hierophant in reverse, they love to serve the devil. Alright, they love to serve the devil. They really do. There's so many different people who work within the government, and maybe even so many people inside of a church, alright, who try and do spell work on earth angels to make them passionless in life, alright, yeah, to make them passionless in life because they want to be seen as all powerful, the almighty, but they're not. They work with powerful ranked demons, you know, spirits, 1616, but that's dark spirits, and that secret has been revealed. Masculine or feminine could have tried to walk away, okay, from a love offer, alright, because they was mentally unstable. They was mentally unstable, so lover joined in on with some sort of a church coven, a mentally unstable lover who brought a lot of heartbreak and always wanted to feed off masculine or feminine's work because they didn't want to go to work. They just wanted to be all privileged. So they were starting spreading bad news, alright, to stop them from going to prison because they didn't want to lose. So they started a lot of malicious gossip, 3 of Cups in reverse, 5 of Swords, to bring about some sort of enemies to help gain some sort of control over some wealth, what was never even theirs to take in the first place. And it was all malicious lies. It was all malicious rumours to get spell work done because they wanted to be seen as like an emperor who's been spying and stalking. Because they wanted something. Because they wanted something, but was never even theirs to take by physical law, universal law, or spiritual law. But they could have sold out for clout. They could have sold out for clout and wanted to have some sort of power and sold out for clout. 2 of Pentacles in reverse, to a dangerously low vibrational demon. Now they are dangerously low vibrational and very dangerously low in depression is what I'm getting. Like very dangerously low in depression, alright, wants to sit there, like they've worked hard for what they have, but they haven't. They haven't. Always trying to focus on filling their own cup up, but they will never have unconditional love from the divine. Alright. So we've got Venus type of energy. So there is some sort of beauty spells, alright. Glamour spells is what I'm getting. Beauty spells, glamour spells, alright. Because they love to do a lot of spell work. Beauty spells, glamour spells, try to stop some sort of forward movement, have feminine or masculine constantly going through choppy waters, constantly going through chaos, okay? Because they're bound to the devil. And there's a lot of people in this hometown who are guilty for investing, and now they're all bound to the devil. They're all bound to the devil. They're all chained. They're very chained to the mundane for the level of 1919. Corruption and injustice. They're very chained to the mundane. They're bound to the devil now. They're bound. They're bound. They're bound to the devil. They wanted to be seen as all powerful, but now they're bound to the devil. They're chained to the mundane. We're bound to the devil. Bad news coming for this corrupt government. Bad news coming for these churches. They're going to lose everything. They're going to lose everything. For the level of corruption and injustice, they're going to lose everything. Try to battle and compete and possess that unconditional love from the divine, yeah? They're deluded. Because they should have just stuck to their own connection to the divine, this dysfunctional family. Instead of trying to battle and compete for somebody else's connection to the divine, somebody else's destiny, oh my Lord. Somebody else's happiness, somebody else's wealth. Six of Cups in reverse, it's very childish. And plus they was trying to battle and compete for somebody else's skills and talents, but they haven't got these skills and talents. So it's just an absolute nightmare because it caused a lot of stress for nothing because they wanted to take somebody else's work for themselves, okay? So a lot of people are losing the jobs. A lot of people are losing the jobs, alright? And because they don't want to lose the jobs, maybe they could be wanting to take themselves out. Alright, because the secrets are being revealed, the truth is coming on out, darlings. Strength card in reverse. And the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So the money is coming back to the rightful person. Seven of Swords in reverse. They've been caught out, and again, it was a bad investment. Four of Pentacles in reverse. They don't want to give it back, but they're going to have to give it back. They're going to have to give it back. Because they're claiming that they possess these type of skills and they're lying, so much underhanded behaviour, constantly, maybe drawing money from an account, passing money around, it's claiming that it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. But they don't possess that unconditional love from the divine, because the Most High has seen everything. They're all demonically possessed. They're all a set of demons, and that's been illuminated. They tried to gain power and control over a chosen one, alright? Ten of Cups in reverse. Dysfunctional family or families, all the twos there. They tried to gain power and control over a chosen one. Six of Swords. King of Cups in reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse. And then the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. They've got a lot of bad karma, what they could be trying to get away from. Because they've got offshore overseas accounts. They've got a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, who's got a lot of bad karma, alright? Could have offshore overseas accounts with money in, what was never even theirs to take in the first place. Which are going to get shut down, and it's all going to be brought back to the rightful person. They're going to lose everything. They're going to lose absolutely everything. It's coming back to the rightful person. We've got Male in reverse. He's going to lose everything. Alright? Teamed up with dysfunctional family because he wanted to come out of poverty, and he wanted to claim that he was the official gifted one. But he's chatting shit. He just wanted to come out of poverty and take somebody else's gifts on as their own. Manipulated a lot of people, lied to a lot of people with this feminine, okay? Tried to take somebody's like gifts, like sudden wealth, who's a high honour, and they are the official. And we've got privileged lady in reverse, a fake, false privileged lady who's been cloaking in energy with a community of dark witches, dark warlocks, a mature man who wants to be head of some sort of a cult, a mature woman who wants to be head of some sort of a coven, alright? So cults and covens have come together, alright, and done a lot of cloaking, a lot of lying, 24/24, and because it's linking to corrupt government organisation within local areas, alright, so at least 3 or 4 different corrupt government organisations in different areas, towns, have all linked together to split this money amongst themselves and fabricate legal documentation, fabricate medical documentation, and try and keep hold of some sort of male, because they're jealous of this masculine or feminine's occupation. Wow. Even somebody who masculine or feminine could have courted or dated at some point was involved, alright, and somebody off the back of theft could have tried to get into Freemasons just because they wanted to buy their own house or home, and they was expecting a neighbour to be watching, alright, while they was trying to stitch this masculine or feminine up with an ex for unfounded crimes, okay? So we've got this adjudication, a corrupt judge could release some more money. We've got wealthy man in reverse, so they've been fighting and battling and competing, and a certain amount of money's been getting released. And they're fighting and battling and competing, alright, and then when they've done this spell, when they've done this lie and started this malicious lies and rumours, alright, they was getting money released to them, and they was loving it, alright, probably got involved in child abduction, didn't give a damn about what was going on with the child or children, because it's a community of thieves, a community of fakes who was going to have to stand trial because it's all coming to light, because someone is working hard behind the scenes to bring this to light, alright. Medical staff are getting charged. They wasn't expecting it, alright. Medical staff is getting charged, alright. Medical staff is getting charged because they've been working on child or children and doing a lot of spell work on children. People from inside the community and outside of the community have been doing a lot of spell work on children, okay? It's a very sick community. It's a very sick cult. It's a very sick coven, alright? Linking to other families, alright, who like to stitch other people up for crimes. And they don't care about the consequences. All they care about is having this money with corrupt judges, alright? Corrupt lawyers, solicitors, attorneys, alright? All they care about, because they're just money lovers, money grabbers, money lovers, anything, do anything for the love of money, and I mean anything dangerous or low vibrational for the love of money. And it's all coming on out, okay? There's going to be multiple law firms getting sued. There is. Multiple law firms getting sued, alright, for the level of corruption, their level of involvement, okay? Secrets are coming out. Binding spells have been broken, alright? Corrupt government organisation, nothing but bad news, malicious lies, rumours. Enemies bringing conflict, malicious lies and rumours. And plus they don't want this masculine or feminine to get in a committed relationship with anyone, okay? Out of jealousy, out of spite, out of the love for control of money, what was never even theirs to take in the first place. Because it was an earth angel, it was a healer. Could be a high priestess, doesn't have to be. But somebody who's very intuitive, okay? Somebody who's got a very strong connection to the angelic realm. A chosen one. Somebody who's innocent. Who's had a lot of heartbreaking events ever since her youth, due to a corrupt father figure who always wanted to gain some sort of control, alright? Could be linking to a motorcycle club, could be linking to an Aquarius, a Cancer, okay, a Pisces, a Libra, who masculine or feminine could have walked away from, and a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, who wanted to gain power and control over a chosen one, a starseed, an earth angel, a healer, because they're very dysfunctional. And they like to commit to dysfunction. They love dysfunction. They love broken homes, alright? So, masculine or feminine, they committed to their job of being a messenger. And they just love to play games because they lack compassion, they lack empathy, they lack remorse. All they want is power, okay? So they always work with dangerous and low vibrational demons to battle and compete, because that's what they're committed to, battling and competing for what anyone else loves. And also there's like a love offer, what they're trying to battle and compete for too. there are a lot of dark witches who just want to battle and compete to do a shit ton of black magic, alright, sex magic, and a shit ton of control freaks who are all under judgment. All under judgment. Always want to take a look on in, okay, lying to other readers, other dark witches, other dark warlocks, okay, lying to get readings, alright. And even these other readers can see that they are obsessed with paying for readings because they're always taking pictures in. They're always taking pictures in, alright? They're always wanting to see what's coming on in next for this masculine or feminine in their destiny, okay? So they can battle and compete to make them passionless, alright? Again, they like to play games, so they're like players who like to play games, alright? Who lack any sort of compassion and always do sex magic, alright? Yeah, and they're like, oh look, just be really horny, sex magic, banging off down there. Alright, so a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, alright. A Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. From childhood. Who's always been studying, stalking, and trying to watch this masculine or feminine working, alright, so they can come on in and take that and then get masculine or feminine angry because they keep taking everything what masculine or feminine keeps working for, and this family just want this masculine or feminine to wipe themselves out because all they keep doing, yeah, is take, lie, take, don't be caught out. Oh my lord, it's a very toxic hometown, alright, and these enemies always spread bad news, always spy, always lie, always malicious gossip, but they're all joined to a cult. They're all joined to a cult and a coven, and they're all bound and tied to toxic relationships because they always want to walk in a divine masculine or divine feminine's light to get their love offer, to get their expansion, lie and say that they're a chosen one, okay? But they're not. They're not. They're delusional. Mental magic. But they're all mentally retarded. They're all mentally retarded, yeah. It's like these dark high priests, high priestesses, dark witches, dark warlocks who are within the local area, outside the local area, who's all been getting recruited. They're delusional. They're delusional. They fell under their own illusions. They fell under their own illusions because they're very deluded. And again, the cloak's been dropped. Because they've been doing this masculine or feminine since they was a child. And they've always recruited more people, okay? Always took work, alright? Always took work. And all these people from childhood always think that they can get away with what they've been doing, alright? They're always doing binding spells, dangerous low vibrational demons, so binding, alright? And then sending dangerous low vibrational demons, okay, to try and weaken this masculine or feminine, two of pentacles in reverse, and call them mentally unstable, so they can cash in and collect off a messenger and have a new beginning and invest money wherever they want to invest the stolen money, because there is. They're an absolute nightmare. All they do is backstab and betray, alright, cause stress, because they want some sort of financial stability. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, okay, with a corrupt government organisation or a corrupt church, 34, has took several forms of financial stability. Because that's all they love. That's all they have a love for, is black magic and money, and for being a karmic, okay, and trying to cloak themselves as a chosen one. but they're bound to the devil, alright? It was a false victory. It's not their line of work. It's not even their skills. They're lying. They always have been, and they always will be. And they're always trying to block the real person from demonstrating their skills, because the level of control, it makes them get off on it, darling. That's what they're committed to. Doing all this stealing, doing all these evil acts and evil deeds, and washing one out over it, darling. Because they're not well in the head. So it could be obviously linking to an ex who doesn't want to see their own ex move forward and get in another relationship, because it means that they will lose everything. And they don't want to go to prison because they're romanticising and fantasising about taking maybe a real high priestess's work for themselves, because they've always been born like with gifts and the secret's been revealed. It's not their destiny. They're in the judgment. A Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio is very corrupt, who doesn't want to let go what they have stolen. So they started like a human hunting party, and working with others, alright? Because they wanted to be seen as king or queen of the occult and king and queen of black magic. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio is very corrupt, who doesn't like Jesus, doesn't like messages getting out there, exposing them, because they end up just waving the wand around with the pals, alright, and do dream magic. Because they just want to rake in money and then just sit there and tell everyone else what to do. We've got Lovers in reverse. So we've got a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn who's doing this on their ex too, because they want their ex to come back. So they can act like they've been, working hard. Look at me, I'm working hard, I'm in control, love me again. Because they don't want to lose, and they get off on it, okay? And all this dark energy, it's all reversing. What goes around comes around, it's all reversing. Six of Cups in reverse, they're very childish. So they all start linking, alright? And any of their exes who dares to leave them, they just talk to them. They all collaborate together, okay? Bring about stress, okay? Have someone feeling weighed down, even though they know that person is innocent, and they sacrifice them because they want some sort of stardom, alright? And now they've got like flaming cheaters down there is what I'm getting. So now they've got flaming cheaters because a lot of money has been spent on sex workers. Alright, a lot of money has been spent on sex workers and degrading rituals, and then they get off on that flaming cheater, and they want this bad news to come back to them. Oh yeah, we've just done another successful degrading ritual, and then they'll start getting off on it with their lovers because they like degrading. They like to degrade people. So much corruption and injustice, very, very childish, and they're going to lose absolutely everything. They're going to lose control of themselves on a road or on a bike, like in a car, on a road, in a bike. They're going to lose control, alright, in a car, on a bike, when that spell work bounces back. Because I wanted to see this masculine or feminine fall apart, but that's been reversed. They was trying to burn evidence. Why would they need to burn evidence, darling? Is it because they're dumb and they didn't know they was being recorded? They're trying to burn evidence. They're dumb. They didn't know they was being recorded. Alright, we've got corrupt coppers who was involved in trying to kick masculine or feminine to the curb because they was very envious, and corrupt coppers who got involved in a contract killing because it's very toxic, hated, corrupt law enforcement who don't want to apologise for what they've done because they love being corrupt. and they was helping an ex. Because they love to be corrupt, they was helping an ex, and they already know the tea because they've been under investigation for a long time. Here's the source, that's the truth. Yeah, darling. Because they've been working together because they love human hunting parties. They love to hunt people down, okay, and snatch everything from them. Doesn't matter how skilled you are. Well, this is why they're jealous. Because of the level of skills. And they're dumb. So we've got dumb people, alright, getting involved in human hunting parties. Dumb people. Dumb people who didn't even know a full police force was under investigation. And so the truth is coming out. And they're all going to be revealed for dumb, dopey, toxic, low vibrational haters who think that they can bend evidence, but they don't understand that obviously these good investigators who's not dumb like them can back everything up on computers. They can back everything up because I'm getting some proper computer whizzes. Alright? And they was all in bed with each other. Yeah, they had all the little side pieces. This has been going on for years and years and years. Nothing but a straight up copy and paste. Spreading malicious lies and rumours. So then they're like, you know, they're never going to want to hear this malicious lie and rumour about themselves, are they? No, we'll just spread that around, and corrupt coppers just kept carrying it on. Masculine or feminine could have tried to set the record straight. So they was meeting on up in the private relationships, yeah, and gang stalking and smashing around and getting in their fields with fake friends, alright? So everyone's been getting involved in gang stalking in this local hometown. Everyone. And now they want to run away from pending charges because they were spending a lot of money on sex workers, keeping a promise to the little hers, keeping a promise to Jezebels. Oh, we promised Jezebel, we'll protect you, Jezebel. Maybe someone could be pregnant right now, or Jezebel, in his connection, was smashing multiple people to get away. Now there's warts and herpes. Everyone's got warts and herpes, and then they didn't want this Jezebel to have their bank account under investigation. But somebody had their bank account under investigation anyways. So while they was partying, celebrating, thinking there was ad, there was under investigation. And they didn't know, darling. They didn't know. They were just trying to block this masculine or feminine new beginning, alright, wanted to take all that money and bear backing. The rats, they're for the streets, alright, they've got to check yourself. They've been cashing checks, darling, into their accounts. These fake ass friends who was rage baiting, and now they're furious, and now they're being revealed for being jealous and envious. They got on another contract killing, alright, because they was very insecure in their own world, and these undercover investigators are setting the record straight. Somebody who smashed that many people and always pissing on a pregnancy test. It's about to explode, because it's about to get raided, and the bank account's gonna get shut down, and they've just been pissing it up the wall, partying and celebrating, alright, chatting shit, watching shit go down like, oh yeah, I'm gonna destroy him, and I'm gonna put some of this money in my bank account, and it's game over, darling. There was two just off their tits on drugs all the time, barebacking everyone. The rats, the for the streets, the bums, the gold diggers, the doors are going through, alright. Any businesses, what they built off the back of somebody else's money, that business is going to get destroyed. The bank account is going to go fucking down, darlings, because it's game over, I can't make it all. They was just two off their tits on drugs, and then it's exploding down there. Alright, it's exploding down there, it's itching down there. There's been so many secret relationships. Everyone who's been getting involved in gang stalking, they've all been smashing each other. And it's all flaming hot down there. It's all itchy. It's all itchy. It's all itchy. It's all flaming. Alright, but you may already know the tea because someone on here could have been involved in a gang stalking and now they've got a flaming cheater. And that's what you get for being a little rat, darling. Street rat, a gold digger. That is what you get. So one of the mechanics could be on here, that is what you get just because you wanted a check in your account and all that, and you just wanted to get involved in all the manipulating and lying, trying to control the narrative, but you know it wasn't true, but you just wanted to watch it pop on off to try and destroy this masculine feminine because you didn't want their bank balance to go on up. Yeah, they just wanted to go on a holiday, get a room together, smash each other, claim that they were struggling with mental health, depressed, to help an ex, darling, with corrupt coppers who was getting recorded. Getting in their feels and going, oh, we'll just call ambulance out and say they need to get on some mental health tablets, cause a lot of stress, distress, drama. So basically, fake ambulance call outs, okay, after them doing all this. So basically, a full police force, all of them are losing the job. A lot of people within the government are losing the job. They could be trying to get away and trying to keep a promise to Jezebel. Don't worry, Jezebel, as long as you keep smashing me, Jezebel. What do you mean? Oh, it's itching down there. Oh, I'm real sorry about that. I didn't know, I didn't have a clue. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. But corrupt coppers didn't care, Giles. They really didn't. They really didn't care because this has just been going on for far too long, alright? And everyone's getting everyone knocked the fuck on up. Alright, over the back of stolen money. Oh, I think it's odd news, darling. Because these corrupt coppers, they always go to this prostitute place, alright? And they've been maybe putting money into, they've put a lot of money into prostitutes, a lot of stolen money into prostitutes, a lot of bad choices, to spruce a prostitute parlour up and have the Jezebels looking a bit more nicer because they think that they should steal someone else's generational wealth and give that to Jezebel, darling. Because they think that someone who's riddling with people, they're backing people, deliberately riddling people with warts and herpes, 47, they deserve what an earth angel should be having because it was an earth angel's work, it was an earth angel's destiny, it was the earth angel's gifts, skills and talents, what they all was battling and competing for, to stop the truth from coming out surrounding this corruption and injustice and how childish the government are, how childish the government are, how childish the law firms are, okay? How should have brought justice a long time ago. I was going to lose everything because the truth's coming out. So, and Jezebel's getting locked up now. Not next to these officers who's been smashing them, alright. Helping Jezebel getting a contract killing, and they didn't want to hear because they were smashing Jezebel on the side, you see. So they was helping Jezebel hide a gun and helping Jezebel, a corrupt copper, helping Jezebel trying to pop an earth angel because they're childish. And that's why they're under investigation, darlings. And that's why the record is getting straight by these good coppers because they've caused a lot of drama, chaos, just because they want to be corrupt and feed Jezebel and think Jezebel deserves the world. And that's why a full police force is getting brought to the knees because even they was doing fake accounts, okay, meeting up behind the scenes with their on-off like partners, all these Jezebels, alright. Maybe they was getting recorded and they didn't know, and then they'd meet up with Jezebel and get lippy, get lippy, get lippy, get lippy about, and I'll smash you, get lippy, get lippy. So it's 49.49. Many of Jezebel's, these corrupt police force, have been stealing this money, alright, and feeding it to Jezebel, feeding it to Jezebel. You deserve the world, Jezebel, look. You're gorgeous, you are. Yeah, everyone's had you, but I want you and all, darling. Go on, Jezebel. Proper bear back in Jezebel. Because they're dumb. Because they're dumb. And they love and they thrive off drama, toxicity, and even the corrupt police force even vowed to destroy this masculine or feminine and manipulate, okay, because they wanted to cash a check, okay, putting on a shirt and a vest because they didn't want this masculine or feminine to be seen or heard. No face, no tracing, all that type of stuff. And now a sex shop is going down because there's a shit ton of prostitutes who's been kicking up a right fuss, a load of drama with corrupt coppers, alright, rage baiting and getting money in their bank account because they're a set of dark witches, dark warlocks, darling. Yes, darling. So police force is coming down, a prostitute parlour, that is coming down, alright. They won't be able to put on a good shirt anymore and trash talk this masculine or feminine anymore. They won't be getting involved in gang stalking anymore. They won't be able to cheat on each other anymore because they'll be in a cell on the urn on some sort of maximum security prison. Alright, they're dumb. Because there was putting checks into a prostitute's account, a sex worker's account, and then get lippy, get lippy, get lippy, get lippy, come on, I'm paying for you, get lippy, get lippy, get lippy, dumb, 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 dumb. Another contract, can you get lippy, cause some drama so we've got every single right to pop them because we don't want our criminal enterprise to fall to pieces, but it's coming to its knees, darling. It is. It is. Get lippy, get lippy, get lippy, get lippy. We don't want them to know that we're fakes and frauds and we've been copy and pasting. So there's a shit ton of copycats. A shit ton of copycats who just don't want to apologise, who just want a lot of stolen money so they can keep smashing around. I'm struggling with mental health, I got depression, I'm struggling, and fighting for something what's not even theirs. So how can they keep a promise to each other when all they're doing is just fueling mental retardation, what they want to keep a secret? So they're just fueling mental retardation and doing a shit ton of spell works. And now, maybe their child, their children, or they've hexed and they cursed their full entire generation for them to have some proper, dumb, dopey, slow, mentally retarded children. Because they tried to sacrifice an archangel to the devil and Aries and demons. Because that's what they work with. That's what they love. So that was a false victory with Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Darling. None of them have these skills at all. They just love to cause stress, this dysfunctional family. They love it. So they can go, I'm in control, drama magic, chaos magic, constantly waving wand around at a real psychic because they're dysfunctional and they're soulless. They're dysfunctional and they're soulless and they don't like the truth. They don't like the truth at all. They really do not like the truth. So that anyone who speaks the truth, they wave the wand around, alright. They drain them of their energy. They're a set of shit mothers, alright. They are. They like malicious lies, rumours and gossip, alright. They start malicious lies and rumours and gossip about child or children as well. Because that's what they're invested in. Because they want to suck the life and the light out of them. And then feed that back to their lovers, Jezebel and Incubus. They've got a lot of heavy karmic debt for playing these games, let me tell you that. alright? Love spells and romance spells and sex magic on child or children, and trying to cloak themselves in child or children's energy too, because they're mentally retarded, you see. Absolutely mentally retarded. They even try and cloak themselves in the youth's energy because they want to become and appear to be younger, but they're an absolute demon. And that's what they work with. That's what they work with. So they are very, very mentally unstable. Very mentally unstable. I mean, to take someone else's work and claim that as their own and go through this much length and pull all these lawyers, judges and solicitors and corrupt coppers in and think that they could just wave the wand around and keep playing games because they think they're players. Look at me, I'm a player. But they've just accumulated a shit ton of fucking karmic debt, and they've all got a shit ton of entities. So much underhanded behaviour. How can they get away with that? And getting involved in robbing the life out of someone and then putting icks out on them just so they can keep feeding Jezebel dolls. And then rage baiting to get masculine or feminine angry. Because look at us, we keep taking money of yours, you keep taking everything what's yours, what you're going to do about it, what you're going to do about it, because we're collaborating with like corrupt church or corrupt lawyers, corrupt solicitors, corrupt judge, corrupt police, and we're all collaborating together, what you're going to do about it. We're not liking that you're not toxic like us, so we want to get you angry, and we want to get you heartbroken, we want to make you all depressed, and let your guard down, let us in, we're trying to help you. Knock, knock, knock. It's only a corrupt government organisation who's got hold of something what's not yours, alright? Let us in, will ya? Knock, knock, knock. So we can attack you again. Because we don't like your level of expansion. And we really don't like your passion. And we don't like that you're getting your money back. Oh, yes, they're getting the money back. Shit to the karma. Alright? But they've done this to masculine or feminine since there was a child, and they think they can avoid judgment because they're cowards trying to build financial stability off the back of other people. What a set of cranks, sir. What a set of cranks. Trying to suck the light out of child or children and cloak themselves as divine masculine, divine feminine. And then wanted to put some money in a wheat grower so they can act like a beast and go, I don't listen, nutter. And we're investing this money in some wheat grower and drug trafficking because want to see, like, well, I want to make out like I'm a beast and call them a nutter. Go on, Queen of Swords and reverse, you lie. Lie. Call them a nutter. That's it, you call them a nutter. So they've been splitting the money to fund some sex addictions, okay, drug habits, gang stalking, black magic, and now that cycle has come to a completion, Dylan. Invested a lot of money, this corrupt government organisation, not defending the right party. So that's why these cowards are getting sued, because it's been illuminated. And they can't stagnate it any more longer. They're going to have to pay some sort of compensation. Yes, they are. There's so much underhand behaviour and trying to take gifts, Gemini, and keep it a secret with family. Take gifts, Gemini, who's going to lose everything with a Cancer, a Virgo and Taurus, a Jezebel. Jezebels are going to lose everything, dolls. It's not but Jezebels, it was never their skills, but they just wanted to drain it. Shit, mother Jezebel, because they were just like, oh, go on Jezebel, and spending money on Jezebel dolls, and giving money to Jezebel, a demon, and nothing but a compulsive liar, attacking, because they was never in control of their own life in the first place, because they're now but a Jezebel, darling. And it was just like, yeah, I know, but I wanted to make out like Jezebel was innocent, alright? And Jezebel was speaking the truth, even though they're very childish immature, starting malicious lies and rumours, but we want to let Jezebel go free. Go on, Jezebel. Oh, thank you. Fucking demon walking free, mentally unstable walking free, to do some more black magic, okay? To just exhaust somebody, okay? Tire them out so they can have some more money, underhanded behaviour, and start more malicious lies, rumours and gossip. So they can just swan around, darling, mentally unstable, and act like they're some sort of beast, darling. Nah. They're a shit mother. They always have been. All they give a damn about is the D, darling. They never give a damn about Jesus, alright? And they think they can avoid judgment. For being, what? For collaborating with more Jezebels, alright? Whose more bank accounts going under investigation. They're going to lose all their financial stability. They're going to have no money left for stalking, alright? They're going to have no money left for anything. Because who's a government, yeah, to rob the life out of somebody and spend it all on sex workers. And partying and celebrating and getting off the tits on drugs and stuff. Fake ambulance call out and go call them a nutter and get them on medication. They should have just walked away from playing these games. But they love to persistently make this masculine or feminine a victim throughout their full life. And that's why they're losing the jobs, darling. So was it really worth it? I don't think it was. They just proper rep dysfunction. Okay? They love to break up happy homes, snatch everything. Look, because they took 10 of cups and 10 of pentacles for themselves. King of Pentacles wanted to just sneaky deceptive, alright? Wanted to make out like there was an emperor, big man, working hard and went in for sacrifice. So basically, alright, the Queen of Swords in reverse was just lying on child or children, or lying on child or children's mother, and saying child or children's mother was unstable because they was after this prosperity, because they wanted to go abroad, you see. A Libra, Gemini or Aquarius, who was actually a shit mother, they wanted to go abroad, alright, they started working with dark witches and collaborating to try and drain an earth angel of the bloody energy. Because they wanted these gifts, darling. All they've been doing is spending this money on trying to sacrifice the person who they've stole it from. Death magic, holidays, doing very, very toxic things. Because they wanted somebody else's prosperity instead of focusing on their own prosperity. They wanted somebody else's unconditional love from the divine instead of focusing on their own unconditional love from the divine. And now they're just bound to the devil, bound to the karmics. There's nothing they can do. They are bound to the devil. Wow. And they really love to dream about trying to manifest and take the strength of an earth angel and give it back to devil. And lots of bad messages between these dark witches and warlocks who do nothing but death hex. So a lot of stolen money is being spent on death hexes. And that's what the government's into, is that? Because the government's going to get fucking sued and they're all going to lose their job. Anyone who is working to cover up this theft, okay? Anyone who has a house or a home or works within housing or anything like that, they're losing the job and they're going to get a death sentence. They're going to lose all the privileges, alright? Them and their family's going to get locked up. They're going to get divorced. They're going to lose the children, and they're expecting it. They're going to lose the child or children, up for adoption, alright, up for adoption, foster care, what have you. And that's what happens when you work together against one motherfucker. You all lose your job, dolls. And that's what happens when you help the mentally retarded who's got involved in some sort of drugs trafficking and wanted to be seen as real because they wanted to buy a house or a home. Real unconcerned. Even the people in the community, they was real unconcerned because they got on the hate train after a couple of messages going, come on, join this hate train with me, we'll give you some money, we'll get you out of poverty with this crank. Go on, make a change, force a change to help an ex, go on, let's get on the hate train, let's get on the hate train. A set of cranks, darling, it was all going to get locked up in prison. All of them. Because they're all fake wealthy, mentally be fucking tarded. So basically, that's why they're all losing their jobs. They're working, and we got message, unexpected income, and corrupt courthouse was getting checks under the table to keep fueling this sick behaviour. Now they're all sick as fuck, alright? And now they're all going to prison, darling. Yeah? And now they're all going to lose their houses for covering up this level of theft and fraudulent activity. Just because they wanted to sit there and stare at masking off and go, do they know we've robbed the life out of her? Look, we're staring at them. Do they know we've robbed the life out of them and we're doing everything we can to come out of poverty and we're making out like we're the officials and we're real unconcerned? Do they know we're robbing the life out of them? Yes, darling. If they're a psychic, yeah, darling. If they're a psychic, yeah. Yeah, and that's why they're losing the jobs, like I say. Because you could try to falsely imprison masculine or feminine also. But these high honours, bringing it back, alright? And it's coming to light surrounding a stitcher, what they was unconcerned about, alright? Because they just wanted to get on the hate train with this main male. Yeah, because they was like, look, we was going to give more money to judge, alright? These corrupt judges, this mentally immature woman who acts like a 5-year-old spoiled little brat, like this little bitch, alright? Abuse of power. And that's why the good law officials are all over them, working behind the scenes. Every bit of mail or anything, any messages in and out of this community, alright? Any messages to child or children, okay? It's all coming to light. Any child or children services who was paid to manipulate, they're getting sued. They're getting locked up in prison. Anyone who puts some money, look, into their account, community officers, community social services, they all got involved. And that's all privilege. And that's why they're all going to prison for the level of theft, fake, fraudulent activity, alright, and even falsifying medical or mental health records to bring about more despair, alright? Because they didn't want to see this masculine or feminine have enough money to buy their own house or home. They wanted to split it amongst themselves with corrupt law. Why not, darling? And give a gift of this money to this fake wealthy man who's always been stalking. And he thought, oh yeah, I'll stalk and all. Take this money. And now they're going to have to appear before a proper judge. Alright, all these mentally retarded people. Because it's going to be one long trial, and they're all going to lose their jobs, their houses, their homes, and every one in the community who works in the community who took money, they're going to lose everything as well. Of course they are. Of course they are, darling. Of course they are. Did they go to a wedding and all with this mentally retarded man? Oh, we'll attend a wedding with a mentally retarded man. They could have actually falsified legal documentation to done a bloody wedding to claim official in reverse, to claim some sort of ownership over some sort of wealth and then get involved in another murder plot to do an inheritance insurance job and working together to create more distress. What the hell? This is obviously getting shut the fucking down, because that's mentally retarded. A government full of fakes, a government full of thieves, a government full of frauds and phonies, but one of these corrupt coppers or corrupt law goes to work and they leave a tuna sandwich in the fridge, yeah, and then they turn around and that tuna sandwich is gone. They're booting. They're absolutely booting. The weirdos. So a set of weirdos have just been roaming round with a shit ton of stolen money. I don't know.